Alright, so let's talk about Samsung. They've been on a roll lately, not just with their hardware, but seriously stepping up their software game. And now, the buzz is all about One UI 8. This isn't just another incremental update, folks. We're hearing whispers that Samsung is pushing the envelope, aiming for an earlier release window than many of us anticipated. This is significant. It shows a real commitment to getting the latest and greatest into users' hands faster. An early One UI 8 could redefine expectations for Android updates across the board. The foundation for this next big leap is, of course, Android 16. Google's latest iteration of Android is expected to bring its own set of enhancements. Samsung then takes that core and builds its unique One UI experience on top. Think of Android 16 as the powerful engine, and One UI 8 as the sleek, feature-packed vehicle designed around it. This synergy is crucial. It means users get the underlying stability and innovation of stock Android, combined with Samsung's thoughtful additions and design language. The next few months are going to be super interesting as more details emerge. Let's dive a bit deeper into this timeline shift. If you remember, One UI 7 based on Android 15 was a solid update. It brought some nice refinements and continued to improve performance. However, its beta program typically kicked off later in the summer, with a stable release following in the subsequent months. This was a fairly standard rhythm. Users knew to expect a bit of a wait after Google officially dropped the new Android version. Now compare that to what we're hearing about One UI 8. The word on the street is that Samsung is targeting a significantly earlier beta launch, possibly as soon as next month, July 2025. If this holds true, it could mean a stable release for flagship devices much earlier than we've seen in previous years. This isn't just shaving off a few weeks, it's a fundamental change in their update deployment strategy. This acceleration is a big deal. It means less time waiting and more time enjoying the new features that Android 16 and One UI 8 will bring to the table. This proactive approach can significantly enhance user satisfaction and loyalty. So, you're intrigued by One UI 8 and want to be among the first to try it out? That's where the One UI beta program comes in. Samsung typically runs these beta programs for its major OS updates, and One UI 8 will be no exception. The primary purpose of a beta program is twofold. It allows enthusiastic users to get an early look at the new software and, more importantly, it provides Samsung with invaluable real-world feedback. Enrollment in the One UI beta program is usually handled through the Samsung Members app. Once the beta program is officially announced and open for registration, you'll typically find a banner or notice within the app. Tapping on this will guide you through the enrollment process. It's generally straightforward, but slots can sometimes be limited. Also remember, beta software is, by its nature, unfinished. So, while it's exciting, you should be prepared for potential glitches or instability. Participating in the beta is more than just getting new features early, it's about contributing to the development process. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. What new features can we actually expect from One UI 8? While Samsung keeps a tight lid on specifics until the official announcement, based on industry trends, Android 16's direction, and Samsung's own innovation trajectory, we can make some educated guesses. One area that consistently sees improvement is the user interface and animations. Expect One UI 8 to deliver even smoother, more fluid animations throughout the system. We're talking about transitions, app opening and closing, and scrolling that feel incredibly responsive and visually pleasing. Multitasking is another area where Samsung often shines, and One UI 8 is likely to build on this strength. We might see enhancements to features like split-screen multitasking, pop-up view, and perhaps even DeX, Samsung's desktop experience. Customization has always been a core tenet of Android, and One UI usually offers a wealth of options. With One UI 8, expect even deeper customization capabilities. This could manifest in more advanced theming options, more versatile lock screen widgets, or perhaps new ways to personalize always-on display. Beyond these, look for refinements in core Samsung apps, improved integration with the Galaxy ecosystem, and potentially new Good Lock modules that unlock experimental features. Samsung often uses One UI updates to introduce subtle but meaningful quality-of-life improvements across the board. It's the sum of all these parts, big and small, that will define the One UI 8 experience. Section 5. Beyond the surface, AI smarts and performance gains in One UI 8. One UI 8 isn't just going to be about looking prettier, It's also set to get a whole lot smarter thanks to deeper AI integration. Building on the capabilities introduced in Android 16 and Samsung's own advancements in on-device AI, we can anticipate features that are more context-aware and predictive. This could mean smarter suggestions throughout the OS, like AI-powered text summarization in Samsung Notes or the browser, more intelligent photo editing tools in the Gallery app, or even proactive battery management that learns your usage patterns to optimize power consumption more effectively. Performance boosts are also high on the expected list for One UI 8. Every major software release aims to make things run faster and smoother, and this one will be no different. Samsung will likely optimize the underlying code, improve memory management, and fine-tune resource allocation to ensure that apps launch quicker, animations remain stutter-free, even under load, and the overall system responsiveness is top-notch. Privacy and security are paramount, and One UI 8, leveraging Android 16's framework, will undoubtedly introduce enhanced protections. We might see more granular app permissions, clearer privacy dashboards, and perhaps new tools to help you manage your digital footprint. Samsung could also bolster its Knox security platform with new features to protect against emerging threats. Furthermore, the synergy between One UI 8 and Android 16 will likely bring under-the-hood improvements that contribute to a more stable and efficient system. It's this attention to detail, both visible and invisible, that contributes to a truly refined and dependable user experience. New design elements, and the overall fresh feel of the interface. New features, especially those related to AI or enhanced multitasking, will be heavily scrutinized and discussed on forums and social media. Performance is always a hot topic during beta phases. Early beta builds can sometimes be a bit rough around the edges, with potential battery drain issues or occasional stutters as Samsung works to optimize the new code. However, users are generally quick to notice improvements in app launch times, system responsiveness, and overall fluidity compared to the previous stable version. Positive comments about speed and smoothness, especially on the latest hardware, often start to emerge as the beta progresses. Overall, the sentiment from early beta testers is usually cautiously optimistic, growing more positive with each subsequent beta update. Section 8, the big picture, overall expectations for One UI 8. So when we zoom out and look at the big picture, what are the overall expectations for Samsung's One UI 8? At its core, One UI 8 is expected to be a significant refinement of Samsung's already mature and feature-rich Android skin. It's not just about tacking on new features, It's about creating a more cohesive, intuitive, and intelligent user experience that seamlessly integrates with the powerful hardware of Galaxy devices. The anticipation is that this update will further solidify Samsung's position as a leader in the Android space. A key expectation is that One UI 8 will continue to enhance the Galaxy ecosystem experience. This means tighter integration and smoother interactions between your Samsung phone, tablet, smartwatch, earbuds, and even laptops. Performance and stability are, of course, foundational expectations. Users will be looking for One UI 8 to be fast, fluid, and reliable. Ultimately, the expectation is that One UI 8 will represent a meaningful step forward for Samsung software. If Samsung can deliver on the rumored early timeline and the promised enhancements, One UI 8 could be one of their most well-received updates yet. Section 9, stay tuned. The road ahead in your voice in One UI. So, what's the takeaway from all this? The road to One UI 8 looks incredibly promising, especially with the hints of an earlier release schedule and a host of new features built upon Android 16. As we move through June 2025 and into July, keep your eyes peeled for official announcements from Samsung. The Samsung Members app, their official newsroom, and their social media channels will be the primary sources for concrete details about the One UI 8 beta program, device eligibility, and feature lists. Once the beta program launches, or when the stable version of One UI 8 eventually rolls out to your device, I encourage you to dive in and explore. Software is a very personal experience, and what works for one person might not for another. Try out the new multitasking features, play with the customization options, and see how the AI enhancements integrate into your daily workflow. And hey, don't hesitate to share your experiences, whether it's through the official feedback channels in the Samsung Members app during the beta, or by discussing it with the wider tech community on forums, social media, or even in the comments section of videos like mine. Constructive feedback, both positive and negative, helps Samsung understand what users love, what needs improvement, and what they might want to see in future updates. The focus on speedier updates, smarter features, and continued refinement shows Samsung is serious about its software game.